Hey guys, I might look a little different today. I told my husband I was going to do a YouTube video today, and we've been kind of going back through the Marvel MCU universe, watching all the movies in chronological order from start to finish, and we just watched Black Widow today. And he said, I dare you to do your YouTube video dressed as Black Widow. Well, I just happen to have a Black Widow costume, so here I am. I'm not going to wear it the whole time, obviously, because it's a little hard to see with this. But anyways, I thought it'd be funny to get on as Black Widow at the beginning of my video. So we're still in the 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes for Creative Memories if you have this book. If you don't worry, I'll tell you what all we need to do. And we're going to be doing project recipe number 7 today. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. As I think I said, I'm Rebecca Santaw. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor from Easley, South Carolina. That's in the upstate of South Carolina. And this is my, maybe I'll hold it closer, shopping link to my Creative Memories website. It'll also be linked below in the YouTube video in the description. So we are going to be working on project recipe number 7 in our 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes book. I will say a disclaimer, the paper that I'm using today is not Creative Memories. I have 95% Creative Memories paper packs, but I do have some things that are not Creative Memories. And I just thought that for the pictures that I'm going to be using today, this paper pack that I had, and you'll see, was perfect for it. So it's what I'm going to use. But you can use, whatever you want. I'm going to be using a pet-themed paper pack. And we're going to start with 2 identical pieces of designer paper for the base. Now, I don't have 2 full pieces. I have 1 full piece here. And I have this piece, which is partial. But we're going to make this piece work by melding, because you can see this piece here is a complete 4.5 by 12 inches. That'll go all the way down. So we're just gonna meld. So I'm going to go ahead and cut designer paper number 1, and I've decided that's going to be this plaid here. So I need 2 4.5 inch strips and 2 1.5 inch strips. Now we're going to be using our 12-inch trimmer. This is the Creative Memories 12-inch trimmer. I love this trimmer. It cuts really well. The blade is housed, so you can't cut yourself with it. It's stuck in there. Locked in the housing, and it's only when you push down that the blade comes out and cuts along the mat. This is the cutting mat that we have, and I'm going to flip mine. You'll see that it's got numbers on it. I've been on number 3, and it's looking a little worn. So I'm going to rotate it to number 4. There's 2 on one side and 2 on the other side, and that way you get a ton of cuts before you even have to replace your mat, which you can buy replacements online, and then you can store your replacement right here in the back of your trimmer. How cool is that? Also, there are various different blade options that you can store in the back of your trimmer as well. We're just going to be using the straight cutting blade today, I think. Let's get the cord out of my way. All right. I use my trimmer upside down because I'm left-handed. It just makes it easier for me, for my left hand to be the one that's doing the pressure and the cutting, and for my less dominant right hand to be the one that holds the paper. If you're right-handed, feel free to use yours the traditional way, where you can read the Creative Memories, and that's how most right-handers use theirs. It could be how most left-handers use theirs too. I don't know. If you're left-handed or right-handed, let me know in the comments. How do you use your trimmer? Am I the only one that uses mine upside down? So We've got two 1.5 inch cuts. And then two 4.5 inch cuts. So we're going over to the 4.5 inch line. Okay. Now, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, this is a designer paper, but I think I'm going to use cardstock for this one because it's only 2 photo mats and 2 strips along the side, and I just think it's going to be like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I lost my train of thought of what word I was looking for. But anyways, it's going to separate, you know, and defining strip of paper. So I'm going to use this blue here. And we need 2 3/4 inch strips. The 3/4 inch, so this is the 1/2 inch line, the very first long black line here. And then this one, the second line in, is the 3/4 inch line. And then we need 2 6.5 by 4.5 inch mats. Now I already know that I don't have 2 4x6 pictures, so I'm just going to cut one 4.5 by 6.5, and then I'm going to wait on cutting the other one. I think I might end up putting a 4-inch picture over there, but I'm not sure. So to get to the 6.5, we're going to pull our arm out and go to 6.5. So we're going to just save this. I'll probably be using that for my other mat. And then the last piece of paper, which would be basically what they have as the mat for these 4 pictures, and these little borders here. Let's see, what do I want to use for that? Might go with white for that. I mean, I could possibly do blue again, because that would be more mats. Okay, I am going to do, let's just talk this through here. So this plaid here is what is going to be like this brown piece of paper here, right here and right here. And then I'm going to be doing a border maker strip on top and the bottom. And I really think this blue would show up well as the border maker. So that's what I'm going to do for my border. And I'm going to figure out my mats later. I don't have enough blue to do the mats and the border, so I'll probably just do white for the mats. And I'm going to start with only cutting 2 borders because they cut them in half, and I'm not using the rickrack. I'm using the Shutter Love. So I might just need 1 on the top and the bottom. So that's what we're going to start with, doing 2 of these. And if you've never used the border maker system, it's super easy. So you've got this piece holds your paper, okay? There's a magnetic strip there that holds the paper, and you pull this out and it kind of locks into place. And you put your paper in there in the tray where it, you know, butts up against the edge of the tray. Put this down and flip the tray back. So now this is held into place by the magnet. Then you put your cartridge into the cartridge holder with the prongs facing out, and it'll snap in place. And then you're going to like go all the way down and punch, and you'll see on the back of the tray these notches. That's where the prongs are going to fit in when you're punching. And you'll feel it kind of locking. You'll feel it like go into place. And you just keep sliding it down and feeling it lock into place. And there's one. We're going to do our second one. Now, if you're a saver of the punch poop, this one does make some little hearts. But for now, I'm just going to toss it all as scrap trash. Okay. Let's see what size this piece left is. It is 3 3/4. So I do have enough of it to do 2 photo mats if I want. I'll keep that in mind. And I do have some scraps of that blue, so I might be able to use it for my photo mat after all. Okay. All right, these we need to cut in half by 6 inches. And I'm just going to get my little photo trimmer for that. I keep reaching in front of the camera, I'm sorry. But anyways, this is our photo trimmer. And, you know, you can cut up to 8 by 10 photos on it because it's got this little arm that goes all the way out to 10.5 inches. And it is guillotine. It's super sharp. It's super easy. But I also like it when I'm cutting, you know, when I just need to cut a quick photo mat or something that's just like 6 inches. Because I don't have to worry about the big one pulling out the arm. Just make sure you're holding it down on this plastic piece so it doesn't shift. There we go. This is also really cool because on the back of it you have a space to hold your regular scissors and your micro tip scissors. That's super handy. Okay, let's work on starting to put this together, and then we'll make some more cuts. So we've got our 12-inch by 1.5-inch strip goes all the way to the edge. Is that right? That is right, but that's not how I was thinking about it. I thought about it backwards. I was thinking that the base, see, this is why it helps to read the instructions beforehand, and I'm going to decide if this is how I want to do it or not. I was thinking that the base of this page was the blue, and that the strips that they cut was the brown. It's actually wrong. The base is the brown. So that means I would have it like this. Which is fine. I could have it like that. It's just when I was cutting these, I was thinking of these being on top of the plaid and instead of on top of this. But it's fine. It works this way too. And then this strip here goes right here. this goes here. I'm confused about this. I mean, they just cut these in half at 6 inches. And it looks like but it's gonna overlap on that blue strip there. You know what, I could eliminate the blue strip, or I could just put it on top. Kind of like it that well. Let's put it on this side, but I want to cover up the heart because it's the same size. I'm just going to dry fit this, not worry about all the taping right now. So that will be like that, and then honestly that makes it a little bit easier when it comes to this other piece that I didn't have the full sheet of, because then I'll just be able to, I can cover up this, you know, I can do, oops, no, that goes on that side. Let's just turn it this way. So I can put the 1.5 inch piece all the way to the edge like it calls for. I hope that's showing up on screen because I know my camera is very limited on how it doesn't get quite all of the width, but you get the idea. And then this, I'll just meld like that and make sure it goes out to the 12 inches. Perfect. So then we'll dry fit these. Bring that one down a little bit. And this here. And then that will go on top of that. Now, let's pull out my pictures because I know I didn't quite have the same sizes that they called for. So they called for 4 pictures that are 3.5 by 5.25 with the 3 3/4 by 5.5 mats. And then they had 2 pictures or mat or journal mat 4 by 6 with a 4.5 by 6.5 mat. So now let me find my pictures underneath my pile here. I know they're here somewhere. There they are. So I've got this 4.5 by 6.5 mat, and I do have one 4 by 6 photo like that. I also have a frame that came with this kit that I could use on that photo, but I think this the colors on this frame and everything is a little bit busy. It might work if I took this off. Let's see. If I take that off, I mean, obviously I don't need this. Okay, I'm not hating that because there's room for it. Not hating that. So let's see what else we can do with our other photos. I have 2 photos that are the correct size, the 3.5 by 4, 3.5 by 5.25. So I have those 2 photos that I could put on this side, and I can actually let's cut this into mats, which would be 3 3/4, which I think is what it already is. 3 3/4 ish. It's like a 16th or an 1/8 wider, but that's fine. By 5.5. 5.5 goes all the way to the edge of your mat. And honestly, I'm just going to slide it a hair past because I already know it's a hair past 3 3/4. If you got to be exact, more power to you. For me, the motto is done is better than perfect. And I think I can eyeball my photo on it to make it to where it, you know, looks even. So we've got these two. So I don't know what kind of accounts you follow on social media, but there's a very famous golden retriever named Teddy. And he's got a brother, Archie, who's a mixed breed, and he has a sister. It's not quite straight there. I need to trim this just a little bit. And he's got a new baby sister, Rue, who is almost 6 months old. Well, they live, you know, in our general vicinity area up here in South Carolina, and they were doing a fundraiser for our local Humane Society, and they had where you could show up and meet Rue. So that's what we did. We met Rue, and she's her own little celebrity. She's going to be the new brand ambassador when Teddy retires, which is not anytime soon. So don't put words in my mouth or anything like that. But anyways, I have golden retrievers myself, and I'm just a super fan of golden retrievers. So of course I had to go meet little Rue. So that is what is happening in this group of photos. So we've got those two photos, which are the perfect size according to the project recipe, which really helps because photo placement works out so much better with project recipes when you have the right size. But if you don't have the right size, it's fine because you just make it work, right? So now I've got, what other photos do I have? I have this photo that was announcing the thing. I don't think that works with that frame. So that could go here. And then I have this photo of me with the cardboard cutout, and another photo of me getting kisses. Those I could probably just do randomly strewn about. So what do we think? Do we like leaving the one blue strip on this side but not having it on this side? Because I took it away from this side because it crowded, plus it didn't quite match this frame. Or should we take the frame off? We could tape the frame off, put the mat back, and put the strip back. I mean, that's definitely matches better as far as all the colors. Sitting here waiting on someone to give me some input, and there's no one to give me input. All right, I think we're going to leave it off because if I didn't have the borders that color, you know, then it would be fine. But I like how all the colors are pulling the same. So this is what we've got. Let's see. There were some embellishments in this pack. Let's see if we got something that's going to work. Let's see. Good girl. That would work. We've got good girl here because Ruby's a good girl. Got some little paw prints here. Could put some paw prints down. I'm going to do a little, in fact, I think I probably have one right here. I am going to make a little journal box. So I've got some of these pre-cut little journal boxes. And I'll be writing about the day. So I think we're done. I think this is going to be our final picture. You know what? I am going to cut a mat to go under this, I think. Let's measure and see what size this is. This is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So I need 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5. Let's see. This 5. 3 3/4. There we go. And that's what it's going to look like. I know I've just dry fitted it. Fitted? Is that a word? Maybe I should just say dry fit it. But I'll focus on explaining our adhesives in another video. I know I've done that before. And we've got our regular tape runners, which I love for putting, I'll just show you a little bit, putting the photos. Oh, actually, that's the repo. But the repo works too. The repo is repositionable. So it works if you need to pick something up and put it back down, or it works really well for borders. Lost the word there. Because you can put the tape on it. You just go like this all the way across. And it doesn't show through, you know. On the other side, it's like you can just rub off the little extras when you put it down. I'm not going to put it down yet because I haven't taped my outside pieces. So this is the regular tape that I meant to show you. And it comes in a runner just like the repo. It's not repositionable. You can pull it up if you have to, but I would recommend if it's something that you're not sure about placement, use your repo. So I'll put this together and then I'll post a photo on my group page. Feel free to join my Facebook group. It's called Rebecca's Creative Adventure. And thanks for watching today. This was, again, project recipe number 7 in our 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes book.